Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name's Paula Gainster, and I'm absolutely delighted to be here today to tell you about social enterprise, what they do, and how they impact on our communities and local economies. The definition of a social enterprise on Wikipedia is that it's an organisation that applies commercial strategies to maximise improvements and human, environmental and well-being. But in my words, a social enterprise is a business, just like any other business, that strives to make a profit, but it's what we do with those profits that make all the difference to our communities where we work. In my role as founder and director of the Sewing Rooms, a graduate from the School of Social Entrepreneurs and ambassador for Well North, I have the distinct privilege of seeing firsthand how social enterprises are making a difference locally, regionally and nationally and internationally. And I'm proud to be part of a global movement that does business by putting people and the planet first. Social enterprises, through how they work, who they employ and where they operate, offer a blueprint towards the inclusive economy, and we're part of a global movement that's embracing a business model that makes profound impacts on communities. And some policymakers are taking notice to the compelling and consistent evidence that social enterprises are leaders in employing the most disadvantaged, in fostering diversity in business and in growing local economies. And we have some great examples here in Skelmersdale. And I'm going to pass you over now to Maureen, who's going to tell you about our social enterprise, the Sewing Rooms.
Thank you. Again, good morning. My name is Maureen Paula and I'm co-director of the Sewing Rooms. Paula and I go back a long time. We've known and worked with each other for well over 40 years. And we've both worked here, Europe and the Middle East. And, you know, we both live in Skelmersdale and are fully aware of the issues that Skelmersdale has faced over the years. And it was as a result of those issues that we thought, you know, we've got to do something about this and set about setting up our social enterprise. I'll tell you how it all started, basically. Similar to Harry, there we were, and working and dealing with all sorts of unemployed people with very serious, you know, problems. And out of the blue, we heard that IKEA were actually looking for a social enterprise, and they wanted an enterprise to make their curtains. And without even a sewing machine, we applied for the tender. And 12 months later, lo and behold, we'd been IKEA'd and we won the contract with IKEA to make their curtains. We didn't even possess a sewing machine. And they came down to see us in Skelmersdale, and all we had was a bare room, a bare office, and we were saying, we'll have this here, we'll have that there, we'll have this, the other, and all the rest of it. Anyway, as I say, we won the tender, and the rest is history. So the aim of the organisation is that we motivate, we inspire, and we educate those vulnerable people further removed from the labour market, people with mental health problems, disabilities, people who have been suffering from domestic violence and abuse, ex-prisoners, you name it. And the whole idea is that we actually engage with those people and prepare them along a progression route, and hopefully with getting them sort of into employment. And our mission, as we call it, is to repair the fabric of society. It's a strapline that was actually, we won an award, and the strapline said, this organisation repairs the fabric of society. And we use that strapline because it encompasses everything that we're trying to do. And our impact, we just don't have a financial impact. We have what we call a triple bottom line. So we have a social impact. whereby we're helping people, we're doing what we can for the local communities and the people beyond. We also have an environmental impact where we're diverting as much as we can from landfill. We get rolls of fabric that people no longer need from a super company called Panaz. We get debit stock from John Lewis, tons and tons of uniforms that come to us no longer needed, which we're able to debadge, remove John Lewis's name from, and actually give out to the local community. And then, of course, there's the economic value. And the economic value is by when we can train people and help people get into work, then we're also helping themselves, we're helping their families, and we're helping the wider community in our area. We have 3 distinctive areas of what we call our sewing rooms. We have sewing room 1, where we manufacture. So as I explained, we make curtains for IKEA, which gives us our revenue. We take private orders from customers. We work with universities doing their curtains or soft furnishings. We make bags for people. If you're having a conference, we can make a bag and blazoned with your own logo. So we take orders from private customers if you want curtains making for your company or factories or houses. So that's our manufacturing side. And then we also have what we call our SoFab Academy. And in our academy, we train people from the age of 16, and we've got a silver sewers up to the age of 90, would you believe? But we take people from all walks of life, and we impart our skills and our knowledge and help those people with sewing. We use it as a therapy to help those people. They do mindful sewing, they do embroidery, they do sewing sort of is great for the mind, and it rests the mind. And people with mental health problems, we've found we've been able to sort of help and stimulate and move on to better things. And then, of course, our contracts. So as I mentioned again, we have contracts with IKEA. We just don't make curtains for IKEA. We actually go into the stores and we do sewing sessions with the children and the families, both in the Manchester and the Warrington store. So we're working with thousands and thousands of families across the Manchester and Merseyside area. And as I say, we also work with John Lewis with diverting their stock. And just to show you about the impact, we also have a contract with the probation. We work with ex-prisoners, and we have women. We set up sewing rooms within a bail hostel in Preston. And what happens is, if women are waiting to go on trial, or they've been in jail and they're actually waiting to come, they come back out into the bail hostel. And we set a sewing rooms up within the bail hostel in Preston. And then they bring a minibus. They have a minibus, and they bring them down to us, and that we teach them how to sew. And just to give you an example, in 1 year alone, we saved 20 women from reoffending. Now, it costs £50,000 a year to keep a woman in prison. So multiply that by 20. That has saved the taxpayer, you the taxpayer, £1 million in 1 year. So we have proven evidence that this does work. And just on a final note, we had a meeting with a very large manufacturing company here in Skelmersdale on Monday, who are very, very concerned because 80% of their workforce, their sewing machinists, are from outside the UK. And post-Brexit, their concern was, if these people return back to their homeland, we are going to be left with a void. So they actually invited us to go along to see their setup, and are wanting to see how on earth we can help them be ready for the future. So our mission now is to engage with these organisations, and this is not the only organisation in Skelmersdale that's going to have this issue. There are loads of other organisations that need to employ specialised machinists. So they are looking at a way of working with us so that they can be ready, we can train their future workforce. Thank you. Paula?
Thank you, Maureen. Excuse me. Yes, so that's we think the sewing rooms is a great example of social enterprise in action, but there's so many here in our town. We have a company called Total Reuse, and has anybody used the bulky waste service? No? Oh, there.
Come
Yeah.
in, yeah.
If you have, then your items will have been collected by an organisation, a social enterprise, and we need to thank the local authority who stepped out in faith and gave this contract to the social enterprise, because, you know what, by doing that, they're creating economic, environmental, and most importantly, social impact for every pound our local authority spends. So we want to thank you for that. Also, the social enterprise is creating employment opportunities. And that very same social enterprise, Total Reuse, will be going down to London in a couple of weeks' time to the House of Commons to pick up an International Green Apple Award for waste prevention. And they're based here in Skelmersdale, creating employment opportunities and social impact. But we're so excited here, and there's other great examples like the Arts Centre, Brighter Futures, Midstream, the engine rooms. There's a number of social businesses here in the town that are just doing absolutely great, impactful things. In my role as ambassador of Well North and Well Skelmersdale, we've been developing an initiative called Social Enterprise in Action. And I'm absolutely delighted to announce today here in front of everybody that we're going to be bringing the School for Social Entrepreneurs to Skelmersdale. We're going to have our own bespoke programme, and we want to support people from grassroots up. So would you be able to show the, it's a 1-minute clip about the School for Social Entrepreneurs. Yeah, it's coming to Skelmersdale, and we're absolutely delighted, and we're looking for 15 individuals from our town that has an idea around a social enterprise. They may have a problem where they live or an idea of how they can improve services, but we want to find them and we want them to come on this programme. So I think that deserves a round of applause, actually. Yeah. In this room, we have an amazing amount of successful entrepreneurs with diverse skill set. And I know from experience that some of you support local charities and local social enterprises. You may have been involved in maybe painting a community centre or going to a Christmas party and serving lunch. And that is absolutely fantastic, and we thank you for that. And you get a great buzz from providing this support, but there is so much more that you can do. You can support our sector in so many meaningful and impactful ways. For example, you can be mentors to our up-and-coming new social entrepreneurs. You can support them and pass on your expertise and knowledge. But most importantly, you can also buy social. So what do I mean by that? So if you look to buy products or services from a social enterprise, you're supporting us to generate income so that we can make profits, so that we can actually do that the great impactful work on the ground, and you'll be surprised at what social enterprises can do. Just ask Sheffield Hallam University, Edge Hill University, Liverpool University, IKEA and John Lewis. Thank you.